seekers. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Existential Shift. Really happy and excited to have you. So, if you're new, my name is Morgane. And yeah, this is my realm. I do tarot. I do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so we're going to answer your questions today. And I'm excited. So please feel free to... First, let's just chat. Who's in the house? If you're here, let me know you're in the house. Tell me what your sign is, where you're tuning in from. Hi, Sandy. Thank you for joining. So just reach out in the chat and we'll see what's up in the room. We'll give it about a minute or two until people join. Meraki27. Hi, Morgane. Sarah. Hello, I'm a Virgo from Kuwait. That is so cool. Welcome, Sarah from Kuwait. It's so exciting for me to see how many people around the world I have around here. Sylvia Cat. Hello, Morgane. I'm an Aries Sun, Gemini Moon. Yay. Gracia. Hi. Hi, Sandy, who's a Virgo, Leo Moon, and Sagittarius Rising. You're a hoot. Pete from Maryland, a Pisces. Hello, Edward. Hello, everyone. So glad that you're tuning in. Okay, I already posted for the month of August the general readings for Taurus, Cancer, Leo. They're already up. Gemini, I just filmed before I went live, and it's going to be posted after the live. Hello, Victor. Hello, good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to you as well. Okay, let me just remind everyone. I wonder if I have any moderators here. I hope a moderator will join. Okay, so if you have a spiritual question that is relevant for you, but also for the collective, something that you're interested in, Gracia, the Leo reading was fire. Yay, I'm glad to hear. My Leo readings are always so very interesting, but I have, for whatever reason, relatively the least amount of views on them. I don't know why. It's a mystery. Hey, Eagle. Eagle sees all like that. I like that. You're an Aries. That's cool. So I was saying, if you have a question that you feel like both yourself and people, anyone hearing this could relate, be helped by, be interested in, please just ask in the chat. I'll happily answer to the best of my ability and to the best of my knowledge. If you have a personal question, if you want a personal reading from me, I will pull 3 cards for you. All you have to do is send $45 to PayPal, write your question in the note. I will see it. I have my notification settings on here. I will also, I will also pull PayPal right here on my laptop, just in case. So I'll have like 2 sources of notification so I don't miss out on anything. Logging in. You have the link in the description box and here in the chat. Okay. Well, they want me to confirm my identity. My secret identity. I'm confirming it right now. 1 second. There we go. And we are all set. Yay. Okay. Dashboard. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to miss out on anyone. And that way we're good. Okay. All right. Hi, Green Apple. Oh, you're a moderator. Yay. Thank you for joining in London. I love my global tribe. I love it. Okay. Who has a question? Shoot. You have millions of questions and now you're silent. Every time you watch me, you're like, I wish I could talk to Morgane. I wish I could ask her this and that. Well, here you can. Pete, can you talk about how you think about sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, etc.? You mean like what is my approach to personal planets in your chart? Look, my approach is always a combination in general with astrology, is always a combination of respect to the basic fundamentals of astrology and literally what they simply mean. And I am aligned with astrologers in that respect. But I always have my own existential shift approach to astrology and the planets, where it's way more archetypal. Now, a lot of astrologers will say, well, duh, that's not special. Agreed. I approach the archetype as any other astrologer of the planet, but I have my personal specific connection to these archetypes, how I translate them, how I analyze them, and how I approach them. And specifically with planets, with personal planets, see, that leads us to a bigger thing that we can talk about, which I like. I'm going to talk about this. Okay, so we are a metonymy of the divine. As we expand, the cosmos expands and the divine expands, and vice versa, right? As above, so below, as within, so without, and the other way around. Okay, so God expands, we expand, God expands, and that includes all its sub-gods, the planets and their archetypes, and how their frequencies and energy affect us. So they are entities just like us. They have frequency, they have energy, they have story, they have existence, they have their physics, their shape, their color. And each of them, just like us, grows, evolves, expands, and changes. So I don't look at the planets and what they mean technically in our chart or in our, character, in like a very book-like old books type of mindset. I really kind of feel how they also evolve with the times. Okay, Venus, what Venus used to be a few hundred years ago, even a few decades ago, is not the Venus of today. She's way more liberated. She's way more closer to the Lilith archetype, by the way. And Lilith isn't as angry and vicious and vindictive as she was. Well, rightly so. When you're constantly oppressed and diminished, then it creates frustration and anger and vengeance. But right now, she's actually way more in her divine first woman ever type of energy. So they I see Venus and Lilith, for example, slowly through the ages merge with their energies. As the divine feminine finds integration within herself, so will the feminine planets. Right now, they are fragmented, just like we're fragmented, but slowly we are reaching integration or seeking integration, right? And I apply that to all the other planets. The type of warfare Mars brings isn't the same type of warfare it used to bring. Just like wars in our society and in our cultures have changed. We used to fight with spears and horses. Right now we fight with AI, or in its other name, social media, that is kind of, puppeteering us and puppeteering society. So as we grow and change, or maybe it's for the better, maybe it's not for the better, but as we change and evolve and transform, so are the planets, and vice versa. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. If the planets first transform and then we transform in alignment with that, or we transform and then they shift as well. Who knows? Maybe it's simultaneous. But so that's why my approach to planets isn't stereotypical always. Sometimes it is. And it will also depend on the person's energy and their story, because it's always a combination. Free choice does exist. It's rare, more rare than we think, but it does exist. And there's also how we I don't want to say break through the archetypes, but evolve with the archetypes into getting them to their highest potential, right? So that's my approach. I would call it existential astrology, and that's my timestamp on it, because it's just how I view astrology. A lot of astrologers are very rigid in the old books and how things are, and then the mechanism. And if you try to talk to some astrologers about the 13th sign, or the 360 wheel, not divided by 12 but divided by 13, God forbid, they start shaking. They start frigiding. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the funny thing is, if you divide 360, I'm doing it on the calculator so you could see proof. If we divide 360 degrees of the wheel, right, to 13 instead of 12, you get 27.7, which is closer to 28, which is a lunar cycle, which is way more aligned with the natural order. Okay, it's actually more natural to have 13 signs. Take 365 days a year, right? Divided into 13 months instead of 12 months, and you get 28. It's even more exact. There are 28 days in a month. That is, the days you have in a lunar cycle. Instead of 30, 31, 29, that actually doesn't make sense. So astrologers that are stubborn with the Gregorian calendar and the by the season 12, I find it's a very masculine mindset. It's a very left brain mindset. Okay, we're being tolerant here, even though even though they would patronize me, and I have every right to patronize them. No, it's all a process. We're all on our journey. I'm trying to be nice and humble here, even though I'm not. Okay. I hope that answered your question, Pete. If anyone wants to timestamp my answers to the spiritual questions, please go right ahead. You can write down the question that was asked and then the time when I started answering. And that way, maybe later I can edit short clips, short mini videos with each of those topics that I talk about. That would be great. Hold on. A. Chan, what are your thoughts on psychiatric medications? I have a big issue with those. Now, unfortunately, because a lot of people don't have the knowledge or the awareness to be guided to better medication for them, sometimes it's all they have left with, and it brings them ease and relative ease of pain or of symptoms. So I'm not going to tell someone who's in pain when they take something that helps them, when they don't know what else can work for them, to not do it. So my criticism isn't towards people who take those medications. My criticism is to the medical world today that knows this. I do see a growing researches in medicinal plants that are no less than miraculous. There is medicine in nature to any ailment. And I stand by it. I don't necessarily know each medicine to each ailment. I don't presume to be that person who knows all that. But there is medicine in nature for each illness. And if the medical world had put in 10, 20% of its resources, of its financing, of its investment, of its time, of its focus and mind onto researching more of medicinal plants, we'd be healed by now. But that's not going to happen very soon for a reason. There are a lot of people out there making a lot of money of us being sick. But the real wisdom is to not get to a point where you even need a psychiatric medicine or a plant or a medicinal plant medicine. The wisdom is to not get there by clean nutrition. If you don't want to experience high level of anxiety, don't put the rotten dead body of a creature that has suffered intense levels of anxiety inside your body. Everything we consume, we integrate into our cells. It's a symbiosis. And that's scientific. That's biology. What we consume, we become, quite literally. So the best way to help someone is clean their nutrition from anything of decay, of death, of rot, to not let them put in dead animals inside of their body, because that brings with it all the anxiety, the fear, the trauma of the poor animal that has suffered in order to become that food, right? We bring in that energy inside, it gets integrated inside of us, and we take it in. basically. And we take in that karma, which makes it worse. So that would be the first advice for me for anyone who needs psychiatric medicine. And then to find research, even if experimental, that has to do with whatever ailment they're dealing with plant medicine. Okay? Magic mushrooms, whatever. Ayahuasca, whatever. There's so many, it's infinite. But there is medicine to each ailment. So I'm not a fan of psychiatric medicine unless it's absolutely necessary pretty much because there's no other knowledge or there's no other possibility at hand. Let's see. Victor, I think I somewhat answered your question. How do you feel about using plant medicine to enhance your meditation? Look, specifically with that, we need to be able to find our peace by ourselves, right? Without agents that, do it for us. It's okay every now and then because we need to break through a barrier, but we can't become reliant on that. We have to develop that muscle of finding that peace within. And that only happens with practice. So if you constantly shut down your brain using exterior assistance and you don't know how to go through your thoughts and process your thoughts and emotions, which is a true meditative state, then you're only furthering yourself from your goal. You're not truly meditating. Meditation is inner peace. So it needs to truly come from the inside. You can use them as helpful agents every now and then, but not on a regular basis. And please keep in mind, plants are beings. They have energy. And we are all here in this polar world of cause and effect and equilibrium. So wherever there's a taking, there's a giving, and wherever there's a giving, there's a taking. Just because you don't understand the language of the plant, that applies very much so to marijuana, and I have no issue with that. I understand people, especially medicinal marijuana. Again, no judgment here, but you should be aware and conscientious, especially those of you who take it regularly all the time to calm yourself down. It is addictive energetically. Not physically, no, but energetically. There is a transaction taking place. You receive, you give, whether you know it or not. And most people don't know it because we don't speak the language of plants. It's not like a contract that we can read, that we understand what it is that we're signing. And the second you puff it in, you signed it. And I'm saying it with love and respect to all plants. It's because I love and respect them. And I'm conscientious of the fact that they are energetic, living, existing beings, life forces, right? Then I'm not vain enough to mess with them like it doesn't matter, like it's always fine. You're not in the higher dimensions. You're here where there's always Momo's happy place. Hello, Morgane. Hello. Greetings. What is the best way to use discernment when choosing a spiritual mentor or psychic? I like that. A lot of false prophets everywhere that can't wait to take advantage of those in healing. Yes. Okay, so here's the thing you need to keep in mind. All of us teachers, guides, mentors, psychics, readers, call it whatever you call it. Why do I get another security code? Stop it. Oh, I think I know why. Hold on. I'll be right with that. I just want to, it logged me out. Never mind. Guys, I will still receive, if you send to PayPal for a personal question, just write me in the chat that you did so, and I'll be able to go inside on my phone and check. Because if I try to keep my laptop open on it, it keeps signing out, and I don't want to like constantly be on that. So, so what I was saying about finding the right spiritual mentor and being discerning, you need to remember that every teacher, whether in the spiritual field or any field, is a person. with a subjective life experience. It doesn't matter how knowledgeable, how smart they are, how well-intended they are, they will always bring their own set of experiences to the table. And that's not a bad thing. That is an inevitable thing. The number of truths are the number of sets of eyes. And on your journey, you will encounter those who fit the level that you're at. Okay, so when you go to first grade, you will have a teacher that teaches first grade material. And then as you progress and you go into college, you'll have professors that have that level of knowledge to give you, well, in a better world. Today, no one has knowledge. Everybody says they have knowledge and they get paid for it, but no one teaches anything. Sorry for the rant. So first, there's that aspect. Even if you find a teacher or a mentor that doesn't know everything, there's a good chance that you're just in that level and that they have something to teach you in accordance to where you're at, and you can grow out of it or just continue and move on to the next, unless they also grow on their journey and accumulate more knowledge, and then you can continue with them, right? So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it, it's okay to have several teachers. This is not a life partner. If someone tells you, hey, you have to only listen to me, you can't take other classes, you can't have other teachers, you can't follow other schools of thoughts, that is a big red flag. Okay, that's more an aspect of control and of a cult-like mindset. And you want to be with people who want to open doors for you for the knowledge and allow you to kind of walk your own path. But if they try to own your path and tell you that you can't go on another path, that's a different story. So that's a good red flag to avoid. If you listen to how it feels. If you feel like it's just not helping you, you're not improving, maybe they don't have anything to give you. However, that one is tricky because sometimes we're lazy. Sometimes we don't want to be triggered. Sometimes we don't want to do the work. Sometimes we're giving the homework, but we don't do them. And then we project it on the teacher. So first, walk through yourself. Be like, did I show up? Did I do as they advised? If the answer is yes, and you tried your best, then they're not your person. Even if they're a great teacher, maybe there's no drive and chemistry. Really look at it the way you would look at any relationship. You make friends along the way. Some stay, some you find out that they're nasty, and it's really as simple and basic as many other types of relationships. You gotta be where you feel seen, where you feel guided, where you feel like you're learning. Doesn't necessarily comfortable. I'm almost about to say comfortable, because healing and learning is not always comfortable. Sometimes it's very triggering. Sometimes a really great teacher triggers the shit out of you, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about that. Yeah, I just want to add a note about the whole spiritual teachers. Apply it to battlefield. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. If you were to be witnessing a battlefield and you would see someone who claims to be the leader of that battle, okay, the main officer, the commander, sitting in the middle of the battlefield, meditating, saying, I live in peace, I love peace, I'm into peace, war is bad, it doesn't exist. And while their people are being butchered and they're about to come at them and butcher them as well, then they're an idiot and that they're not the real thing. Because what are you doing? Yes, be about peace, but right now you have to fight for your life. And it's an analogy, okay? So fighting to save yourself, fighting to help others through a battle, that doesn't mean you don't like peace. That doesn't mean you're not positive, you're not spiritual. It just means that you're in tune with what is happening. And you're guiding yourself and others through what is happening. And that is spirituality. It's the spirit of reality. Same thing, if you have a spiritual teacher that completely ignores people's pain and what they're going through because they don't want to talk about it, they just want to have high vibes. Okay, they're I don't taint my high frequency with this lower frequency, and it's like, It's the same. It's exactly like a commander in a battlefield meditating and about to be butchered while their people are butchered. Make sure that the person is present, that they're not using you as ways of escaping themselves from their own pain. Right? When someone cannot face a negative reality is because they did not face the negative reality within themselves, their own shadows, their own pain, their own wounded child. So that's and there's a lot of that in the spiritual community today. A lot of people who are very wounded and traumatized and hurt and have no place. Thank you so much, Pete, for the $10. Thanks for bringing intelligence to the esoteric. I really appreciate the support. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. So, they're not necessarily, it's not that they're ill intent. It's not that they're deceiving you on purpose. They're running away from their own pain instead of guiding themselves. You have to find someone who you can only be guided by someone who's already guided themselves, or at least is in the process of guiding themselves, and they're taking you with them. But they can't be your tour guide if they don't know the layout. So the magic world and the spiritual world is a very loving, accepting place, and it serves as a refugee for people who are in a lot of pain. And that is okay. However, what is not okay is that they take it to a place of, okay, now I'm a teacher. You're not a teacher, you're a student, you're on the path, you're growing. When you will go through the things and learn the things, then you can become a teacher. It's a combination of what I just said with how our culture teaches us to be lazy and vain. Oh, you can be anything. You just need to want to. No, you need to do the work and you need to actually study the material. Okay, people are lazy. They want the shortcut. They want the status. So instead of going through the actual path of healing and then helping others with it, they just, it's okay to be a student. If you started your spiritual journey a month ago, what are you doing online calling yourself a teacher? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I find it embarrassing. I started my journey when I was freaking 5. I started calling myself a spiritual teacher after you started calling me that. I would have never done that. I would never have claimed that title without being first. And it's different than other things. I understand that. But it's kind of like in the martial arts world. Ranks are given, not taken. You're referred to as a senpai first, and then you're a senpai. You are referred to as a sensei first, and then you are a sensei. You got to be the thing, be it so well, truly, deeply be the thing that it shines and so bright, it's so in everybody's face that they can't not call you by that name because you wear that. It's that your name is engraved on your heart. It's in your bones. So it's also in your essence, and it's just written on your forehead. So people just, oh. Does that make sense? And it's not because I don't want to be happy for other people on the spiritual path. I think, amen, more spiritual teachers, more spiritual guides, please, but real ones. Okay. I hope this answered your question, and thank you for asking it. Let me scroll up a little bit to see I didn't miss anything. You know what? I can't just keep scrolling up. You're going to have to write it again if I missed out a message and you wanted me to answer. Kev Walsh. I often wonder if me and my son bonded because neither of us was fond of speaking. He's very kind. You must pardon my manners. I haven't slept in many nights. Okay, there's no question there, but hi. Hello, Magnetar. If any of you wrote a question and I missed it, just write it again or copy paste it from the chat and you can put it again in the chat. Miraki 27. Are there any strong spiritual changes happening? My son, dad, and myself experienced a wave of energies that came through this week. I'm still feeling it. It feels loud, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and they have been happening for quite a long time. But right now, and I actually did a live about it with messages for all the signs about the Uranus North Node and Mars conjunction in Taurus that is happening at the end of this month of July, and it's a big energetic event, so it will have lasting influences wherever you have Taurus in your chart. But watch it; it's very informative, and it goes in depth with what I see from it. So there's that going on, that conjunction, and it affects the entire population and the Earth. It's about the relationship between humanity and planet Earth mainly. And that's been a process for a very long time. And the sad thing, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like focus. The sad thing about it is like everyone in the spiritual community and people at large are like talking about this process as if it's, an awakening process for mankind and a positive process for mankind. But no, it's an awakening positive process for Mother Nature and people who align with it and are benefiting her as opposed to harming her. But anyone whose cultures, societies, organizations, people who harm her are not in that process in a good way. Let me just give you a really uncomfortable, non-flattery example. And it doesn't apply to you as individuals. I mean, of course, your choices, adds up and it creates it. But, I know you to be wonderful, lovely, seekers, seers, existential shifters. I don't think of you personally as that, but as a collective, as humanity, in relation to nature, in relation to Gaia, in relation to the planet, we behave like a virus. We spread and we just destroy everything, from cutting down rainforests to pretty much everything. Okay, we pollute in the ocean, and you can't eat a fish if you eat fish. I don't, I'm vegan, but just to give an example, there's no such thing as seafood or fish that you eat that doesn't have microplastic in it. You cannot avoid it. Microplastic, which is pretty much very, 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 very teeny bitty small pieces of plastic, they're all over the ocean. And the fish just eat it. So you consume plastic when you eat seafood, and the entire ocean is full of plastic that you see and plastic that you don't see. Okay, we have, in the past century, we have brought to extinction more than half of wildlife in the world. And I need you to let that sit with you for a second, because it's insane. It's not something we can grasp. More than 50% of wildlife on the planet has gone extinct because of our behavior in just the past 100 plus years. And what happens to an organism, a living organism? Let's say you, God forbid, have a virus come into you. What does your system do? What does your immune system do? It takes over. It fights it off, right? Probiotics, the good bacteria, everything just comes together to fight it off, to wash it out. This is the process we are talking about when it comes to spiritual existential shift. It's going to happen in all kinds of ways. It has been happening in all kinds of ways. The best advice that I can give you, and that's the best that I can think of, is act like a probiotic, act like a good bacteria. Don't behave as an invader. And then everything will be happy. So that's the major spiritual processes that are happening. Let me see. Meraki, thank you. I got goosebumps. I'll need to watch it again. Cool. I have several videos where I talk about these things. Sandy, do you feel the earth is shifting in a positive way amongst all this corruption? Yes, it's a long game though. There's a lot is being exposed now. And everything that is corrupt is crumbling. And there are a lot of corruption that is crumbling now from the inside that you don't know about. There are systems right now that are really fighting to keep a straight face, to keep it together, to look like business as usual. So you might not know, but from the inside, they are deteriorating. The rot is taken over. And it's like trying to shove water up the hill, trying to save those ships. There are a lot of ships right now with holes in the bottom that are being held by unseen wires that you can't see, but they can't hold much longer. So yes, the world is in a very positive direction, and all the terrible exposure that you're seeing now and will see very soon, way more of things, a lot of things in the past 3 years are going to come to the surface strongly. They already are, but they're not in where we mainly can see them. But if you follow independent journalism, for example, you can already see it. And when it will be in everyone's face to a level where they can no longer deny it or be in denial about it, it will create a uproar in many, many places in the world. There will be a global uproar. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. You're welcome, Sandy. Vanny, what do you do when you feel your power and light inside very strongly and you want to embrace it, but yet you are blocking it? You address the blockage. You figure out the source of the block and you go straight into it. You run into the fire. The only way out is in. Then the topic of your focus should not be your light or embracing your light. The topic of your focus should be the blockage. And to be more specific, the source of that blockage. So for example, if you are not embracing your light because you are in denial of your shadows, a lot of people who refuse to admit to their own shadows, to their own polarity, I'm just one and it's only light. Well, then it's not one. One is an integration of the polarity. 1 + 1 = 2, not 0 + 1 = 2. You got to incorporate both the materials to create the recipe. Okay. And that brings us back to the spiritual teachers thing, where a lot of them, unfortunately, today are just people who will not go anywhere near their shadows, their pain, their suppression, their trauma, their anger, their resentment, their jealousy, all of it. So you go into the shadow. That's ironic. I know you're like, I want to embrace light. So you're telling me to go to the shadow. Yes. The light is at the end of the tunnel. Hence you got to go through the tunnel. All right. I hope this helped. Let's see, anyone else? I'm just scrolling up. Oh, who sent the Canadian? Sandy, thank you so much for the $27.99 Canadian dollars. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for being a source of wisdom and love. Love your channel. Namaste. Thank you for the support. It's very appreciated. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I did that when I filmed when I shot Gemini's reading. It keeps going in and out of focus. Anyone else has a question? Momo's happy place. You have to go through heartbreaks to have a breakthrough. Thank you. You're welcome. And that's unfortunate. By the way, this is a topic that I want to bring up and say, yes, we have to go through heartbreaks to have breakthrough. We have to go through the pain to reach happiness. And that's the reality of our life. That's the system. But just because we figured out how it works doesn't mean we have to like it. When you work for an organization and you learn all the ins and outs and you understand the rules and regulation and how you can progress in the company and so on and so forth, you know all of it, but do you always agree with it? Do you always agree with the methods? And people don't go to that place of disagreement with the method because that would mean being in disagreement with the Lord, with our gods. That's scary. And the reason why it's so scary to be in, God forbid, pun intended, disagreement is because we were taught to fear the divine. If we don't honor the divine, if we don't agree with it, if we don't just obey the rules and regulations like written in the books, we will be punished. We will be seen as evil. Look what happened to the archetype of Lilith for daring to not want to be at the bottom. She wanted to be the top. A lot of men like that. For daring to have like her own path, her own will. Today we consider it independence. We consider it freedom. But back then, how dared she? So she became the evil, right? And until today, even though we're supposed to know better, until today, her archetype is considered that, because that's how deeply it's engraved and rooted in us. It doesn't matter that our conscious has already advanced. Okay, there's feminism and liberation and independence, and we don't have to walk the path of our parents, and we don't have to work at the company of our parents. We can create our own business. We can do what we want. But back here, don't we dare dispute the big boss. But let's entertain this for a second. Let's entertain disputing the big boss. I've done that on my 13th element. You'll find on my 13th element playlist, you'll find a 13th element video called The Spiritual 3-Year-Old Who Divorced God. Yeah. And what happened when I started disputing, I started actually looking at this system. Pluto in Capricorn, breaking down the system, you can look at it similarly as to like a Pluto in Sagittarius, breaking down the faith and the mechanism and the houses of worship, not ruining them, God forbid, not breaking them, not being disrespectful to other people's faiths, but looking at them with clarity and asking the questions, is this right? Because it's kind of controlling, narcissistic, and even violent from a God to do this to us. Hey, little children, I built this. You're only good if you follow my rules. And my rules are that to be smart, you gotta suffer. To be happy, you gotta be miserable. To be strong, you gotta go through a lot of pain. I created this dual world. Hey. It's fucking crazy. If you really think about that. Okay, you created this. Why did you couldn't choreograph something a bit less cruel? This is a very toxic, this is a very cruel system to advance spiritually, to learn, to grow. Think like the old schools where teachers would hit a child if they would make a mistake or something like that. That's terrible. We know better than that today. And yet we still accept that in our spiritual school of growth as people, we got to go through that suffering. Now, unfortunately, it is the reality, but it doesn't need to be the reality. And it will only change as soon as we decide to question, to look at it in clarity, to not be afraid of any punishment or consequence for daring to see things for what they are and ask questions. And demand a new system. I'm sorry, is this not a democracy? Vote. Be like, hey, dear gods, listen, you built this government thing, spiritual existence thing. We don't like it. Yeah, you're kind of being torturous. It sucks. We want a system where we are happy by being happy, where we get smart by being happy, where we get strong by being happy, where I don't have to suffer to appreciate the good. And we deserve that, let me tell you. It exists in other dimensions. For whatever reason, in this dimension, it's dual like that. But I'm going to challenge you a little extra and say another thing. What if the divine has already heard it? It's already listened. And just like we said in the beginning, right? It grows the way as we grow. It expands as we expand. It changes as we change. It can also change his mind. It can also be like, you know what? This system hasn't been working for my souls going into Earth school. It's too difficult, too painful. The karmic loop is incredibly hard to figure out. The rules of manifestation are super intricate and super complex. This is too much for these baby souls. I'm taking 3-year-old souls, putting them in college, and it's like, no, of course they fail. And I do believe that it is changing, but it's going to take some time. And I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, but maybe in the next lifetime. On another note, maybe this is a school for archangels. It's like the toughest school on the planet, in the cosmos, where only those who succeed through these intricacies become an archangel or a ascended master, whatever definition you want to call them. Hey, I don't know everything, but I do ask questions and I let my spirit roam in the infinite quantum field of possibilities. And you should too. Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's any other question. Momos, Lilith had high standards for herself and independence was feared. I feel we are relearning autonomy. True. I am enough. Allowing yourself the freedom to be exactly the perfect mix of what you need to be, says my grandma always. Aw. Okay. Is there another question? Am I missing anything? I might preserve my consciousness in artificial form, but likely not. But I can't answer that. It's too big for me to think about right now. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Let's see what else. Magnetar, any personal thoughts on food, farming, water, etc.? I've said them many times. I've said them in this video. I spoke about it in this video. So you can scroll back if you tuned in later. You're welcome, Vanny. Have I already found my divine partnership? Charity, that's a personal question. You're welcome to ask me a personal question and I will pull 3 tarot cards for you. This is how you can do it. I just posted it. Do I still have Green Apple here as a moderator or any moderator in the house? Oh, you know what? We did that last time and it was fun. You can also, if you want to ask me for a message about your date of birth, like you want to write me your date of birth and I'll tell you what I'm getting from it. You can do so for any super chat. So if you do a super chat and write your date of birth, let me know. and I'll try to see what I pick up on. But I will only be able to do it if you'll actually write the date of birth there. And if not, oh, we're already 50 minutes in. Okay. Okay, if I'll have something come in soon, we'll continue. And if not, maybe it's a good time to part ways. Guys, practice listening. Okay. I'm scrolling up in case I missed anything. If I missed any of your spiritual questions, I apologize. When I talk, I can't simultaneously look at the chat, but you're welcome to copy, paste, and write it again. Answered. Jerry, I wish you and that alchemy lady would team up. I'm not familiar, but I will look her up. Sarah, I do not know if it was beta or theta, but I was in that zone and had a vision most people would laugh at as a form of entertainment. It felt real and I was titled. How accurate are they? I don't know. You got to give me more information, lady. Meraki, thank you so much for the $9.99. I appreciate it. You were born February 24th, 1992. Pisces. Okay, let's see. So 2, 6, 9, 10, 19, ועוד 2, 21, 3. I'm just calculating the numbers real quick. 2, 6, 3. So your total 11. Hold on, I'm on it. 2, 24, 21. 2, 6, 3. So you have a very strong your neurological system. That's the word I was looking for. Your neurological system is very sensitive. It's very hyper. Okay, so you need to pay close attention to the foods you eat even more so, especially because of the neurological aspect. Don't take any experimental, you know what, because that affects the neurological system. Here's the thing that I want to say to you, but I want you to take it with a grain of salt and immense amount of responsibility. Okay, when you go through neurological weakness, however it plays out for you, and I'm not sure how it plays out for you and the way you feel it. Maybe you become brain fogged a little bit. Meraki, yes, after my wake up, my body has been craving clean food. Okay. Well, you need that. But anyway, because you're so sensitive, first of all, you have to eat clean food. I would also recommend to not take anything like alcohol, psychiatric drugs. Now, again, I hope you don't deal with anything that requires psychiatric drugs, but try to avoid it at all costs, if possible. As natural and as clean as possible. But here's the thing. You channel information, divine information, when you are in that sensitive place, which is a problem, because we don't want you making yourself vulnerable physically, neurologically, and your nerve system. It's also your nerve system, hypersensitive, right? Your nerve system is very sensitive. So we don't want to make you vulnerable for the sake of you receiving knowledge or information or channel. I want you to have a good sit and talk to your spirit guides and talk to your God, whatever you believe in, and your higher self. And be very clear to mention that you want to talk to higher light beings, not any beings that are roaming this earth, okay? And asking help with finding a different way to channel information that doesn't require you to sacrifice your physical well-being. I don't know why you chose that when you came here. There must have been a reason, but the fact that it's coming through to me in ways that I can deliver this message means it's no longer necessary. And there's a way, there's like this portal of choice that you can make. You can change that life timeline and find a way to speak to the divine and receive channel messages without being in a hypersensitive nervous system, neurological situation kind of place that can hurt you. Okay? So good luck. I hope this helped. Hey, Marina, into the light. Hi, Morgane. I saw Jesus. Woohoo. Did you meet him on a dating app? Did you guys swipe on each other? Just kidding. I'm sorry. I saw Jesus in my dream a few nights ago. He gave me a hug and a big smile. I've never experienced such love and light in my whole entire life. It's hard to explain. That sounds really lovely. I'm happy that you had that spiritual experience. It must be very comforting. And thank you for joining. Momo's happy place. Marina, I'm Jewish and I have no idea what this dream means. You don't have to take it to a place of religion, but hold on with that. Do you feel that one reason time is speeding up is in order for humanity to wake up and feel the pressure to do inner healing to help the collective evolve in this lifetime? Or maybe to dissolve the old time construct? Yes and no and no. Because it's also, it's that, but it's also the opposite process where when we expand our consciousness, everything rises with us. However, to talk to your point, the Schuman resonance of planet Earth, and if you don't know what the Schuman resonance is, it's a way of measuring the frequency of the planet. So technically it's known to be on 7.83 megahertz per second, okay, where planet Earth moves. 7.83 cycles of movement per second, okay? Whatever, it doesn't matter the technicalities. But in the past few years, there has been incredible spikes. It's been going up in the number, meaning it's speeding up. So the frequency of our planet, of our dimension, is raising. It's frequency, meaning how frequent it moves, okay? So if the frequency rises, it vibrates faster, okay? And that in turn affects all the Newtonian laws of physics, including time-space reality. So yes, time is in a way speeding up, but it's not exactly like that because we kind of invented time, right? Time is a man-made mechanism to help us survive through this planet because our brain functions in a very human condensed level. So it needs time to frame it and to structure it and to be able to walk in the world. Thank you, Magnetal, for the $5. I'll be right with you. What was I saying? Oh, so our galaxy expands, right? Thank you, Marina, so much for the $33. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Namaste. I love you back. So it really expands. And in turn, it affects the time-space reality that we perceive as such. So it plays out for us as time is moving faster, but it's actually a little bit of a different thing in the reality itself that is broader than what we're experiencing in a very limited dual polar left brain, right brain. We're smarter than I'm giving us credit. I apologize. Our subconscious holds on an infinite amount of cosmic knowledge. Okay, it's like an Orion's belt for the cosmos, but we're not tapped into it. So when I'm talking with sarcasm about it, I'm referring to the aspects that we're tapped into. But hopefully one day we'll tap into all of that. Charity Gordon, welcome, Seeker. Okay, so Marina, Marina and the others that have given super chats earlier, Sandy and Pete, If you want to give me your date of birth, maybe I can also give you a message because you've been very generous. But Marina, if you want to give me your date of birth and you want a message or something, but Magnetal, March 13th. Yeah, if you write your date of birth, I'm assuming you want me to give you a message for it. And if you don't, then I'll just say thank you. March 13th, 1983. Another Pisces. Ooh, Pisces 13. Another 21. Okay. 343. Okay. So if you're both a spiritual person and a competitive person, it's okay. Magnetal, I'm answering you. Okay. It's not a bad thing. It's not a contradiction. It's not one or the other that you need to choose between or suppress one of them. You can be a competitive person in the world and try to succeed in society and in whatever your profession is and what you pursue. Thank you for the $14 on PayPal from Tom Pfeiffer. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. What was I saying? Magnetal. Yeah. So you shouldn't separate between the two. You should not look at them in contradiction. You should look at them as equal, as not equal, but complementary, and work with both energies to create, a life path that is an integration of both. Okay. It's okay to want to work in the spiritual field and make a living off of it. It's actually really legitimate and all that jazz, or however it plays out for you. Okay. Now, I do recommend to read a lot about ancient societies. You do have a past lifetime connection to an ancient society of some sort. So read about all kinds of ancient societies in history and today. Maybe try a few and join them. Be careful, be cautious today, because a lot of them is just about misogynistic bullshit where they smoke cigars and think they're cool, and has nothing to do with magic. But, or sometimes it has to do with dark magic. But so be very discerning and selective. Read everything you can first. I'm picking up that it's important that you have the intellectual knowledge. So when you try to interact with one or join one or find one, you come with a base of knowledge that helps you through it. Okay. And if you have a desire to be in service of women and you keep finding yourself in a relationship where you always want to serve a woman and you overgive yourself, it's because you made an oath in the past as a knight to protect a woman, to swore to love and protect at all costs. And ever since then, you're still very sacrificial. You can undo that oath. You can be like, I've played that role. I don't want to do that anymore. Maybe that could help you in your love life. I don't know. Well, a lot of things came through. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Marina, August 27th. What year? You know better. I'm going to wait for you to tell me the year. Pete, thank you once again. $10. March 10th, 1964. Keep the Pisces train rolling. Mine's Saturn return year. Ooh. Well, thank you. You don't give me a date of birth, so I'm assuming you're just being generous, and I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Oh, wait, you did. I'm sorry. March 10th, another Pisces, 1964. Here we go. And guys, and I'm assuming that if you put the number first, and that's the day. If you want to be extra clear, make sure you can write me the month in a word and then the day as a number. March 10th, 1964. Okay. It's your Saturn return year. A second Saturn return? Yeah, it must be a second. Hold on. You are You're not old. Okay, you are very sensitive. You take things very personally, even things that are not personal, which really creates blockages in your relationships. And relationships is not just romance, it's everyone, whether it be family, friends, coworkers. So my recommendation is try seeing things from other people's point of view. And I know you see other people's pain and other people's process and so on, but you don't see other people's points of view when they're doing something that is interpreted by you as offensive or hurtful. That's when it's like you don't see their point of view at all. And you avoid seeing your point of view because you associate it with danger, admitting that you're responsible for the situation, or that things didn't go a certain way because of something that you did or you said or just whatever. So there's the need to learn how to take accountability in things. And that would be so helpful for you on so many levels in all your relationships. Because people in your life really want to be in your life, but they find it really hard because they feel like everything they might say might hurt you or offend you. And you're probably saying right now, well, I don't say anything or I don't call them out on it. But your face and the tone, they pick up on it. So just keep that in mind. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Yes, Sandy, I will definitely do yours too. But let me do Marina because I already tapped a little bit, and then I'll go to Sandy. So Marina is August 27th, 1974. Another year that sums to 31. You're welcome, Pete. Okay, 893. 893, and it all sums to 22. Virgo. So Marina, you're very strong. Stronger than you show yourself to be, stronger than you allow yourself to admit to yourself. I need you to stop playing victim in the world, not because you weren't victimized, not because you weren't hurt. All of that is true. It's not in contradiction. It's just don't play from that place. Because if you actually sit with yourself and ask yourself, am I really hurt? You are legitimately hurt by whatever. I'm talking in general. Think back on your life. But you have the incredible strength and stamina to really not be that affected by it unless you let it affect you. And often you get hurt cognitively because you become aware of what someone did or said, and you're like, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing to do. Why would you do that to me? And it does hurt, but it's not. It doesn't get to you as much as you let yourself think that it gets to you. And you'll be so much more free in the world and have so much more energy if you'll stop giving your power away in ways of admitting, okay, I'm hurt by this, I'm hurt by that. Yes, you are, and you should be upset at that person, or you should cut that person out, or you should leave that relationship or quit that job. You should be cognizant to when someone does something and have consequences, meaning they can't talk to you anymore, or they need to apologize, or whatever. But emotionally, don't let it sink so much. Sometimes you let pain sink on purpose because you want to feel more human. If that makes any sense. You don't need to feel more human. Be a mythological mermaid, and that's really cool. Okay, love? The Manitoba and Charity, thank you both so much. I'll be right with you. Let me go up to Sandy because I missed out on Sandy's. And then I have through PayPal also someone who's another Pisces on March 1st. From Amira. Okay, I got you. I got all of you. I won't skip anyone. Right? Hold on. Let me just go in just to make sure. But I'm on it. I'm on it. I already said thank you to Tom. Thank you so much, sir. Or madam. I don't know. I think it's sir. Sir, yeah. Sorry. Wait, I'm trying to go. Oh, there it is. And then Amira. Okay. So Sandy, August 24th. Hi, you guys are neighbors. With Marina, with Into the Light, 1976. 8/24/23. 865. 865. It's 19. 865. Sandy, Virgo. Sorry, I'm here. Okay, Sandy, I'm tapping into a past lifetime where you've, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was part of your job or maybe you were persecuted. I don't know what the reason was behind it necessarily, but you were very good at camouflage. I had someone similar in the chat a while ago. No, but that came from a different place. With you, you can become a completely different person. If you'll ever consider going to be an actress, you could. Or I don't know if you have background in acting, but you can be like a very powerful character actress, sorry. Like you have the capacity to transform to a different person and to not show any hint of the person that you are inside. What is your use of it though? Why is it happening? Sorry. Why is it coming through for Sandy? Sandy, do you relate with that? Do you resonate with that? It is so strong. And I'm picking up on nerves of steel. Like the ability to stay calm and collected in very, very stressful situations where most people would just shake out of their boots. Yeah, no, I know, Sandy. I know your date of birth. I'm answering you. Do you resonate with everything I'm saying? I'm talking about you. But why is it coming through? Maybe you need to know that about yourself. Maybe you're not aware of that strength that there is in you. You have nerves of steel. But are you acting like an innocent lamb sometimes? Do you like sometimes act like an innocent lamb to avoid responsibility for something where if you've shown that you're aware and strong, you'll have to be accountable? Don't do that. Better be accountable for whatever than diminish your power, because you're saying something to your spirit and to the universe by doing that. You're voting. Own up to the strength and abilities that you've been. It's very scorpionic, by the way. Very Scorpio energy. It's pretty cool. Utilize it. Don't dismiss it. Don't play weak unless you have to for survival. I'm not talking about survival situations. I don't presume to say to people to not do what they can for survival. And I understand there are all kinds of stuff in the world. But generally speaking, with your loved ones, with your friends, show how strong you are. Okay. The Manitoba, I haven't, maybe it's also you, but I haven't done your numbers yet. I've done August 24th, 1976. But you're next. So let's see. Right? You're next. Thank you for the 5 Canadian dollars. June 24, 1989. Okay, so that's 66. Tesha Esel. Chaisel Vuchmone. So we share with Tesha. Yeah? 669. Manitoba, 669, June 24th. Okay. Hi, Cancerian. So you can be really great with working with groups when it comes to like guiding groups through group therapy or healing sessions, counsel, but groups working with people. Because when you're one-on-one, the silly, cute goof comes out of you. But when you're in a group, the serious advisor comes out of you, and it does you well. You know, it really compliments you. So that's a very short and sweet and accurate message. If you don't do that, and if you've been considering what to do in your profession or in life, consider that. Okay. So now we have Charity Gordon, but I think we had someone else first through PayPal. Amira. So Charity, thank you so much for the 20 pound. I really appreciate that. I'm going to do Amira first. Thank you for the $10. March 1st, 1980. Another Pisces. We have so many Pisceans today. 319. You sum to 13, Amira. Are you Hebrew? Because the name is very Hebrew. Love me a good Jewish. De Moya. No, you're not. You're not. You're like you're Latino probably. Never mind. I'm sorry. Forget about that. 13. Okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's just me. Like, so you have a lot of 3s in 1. 319. Oh my God. March 1st. Hold on. I mean, this is going to sound weird. I don't know if you've ever considered picking up fighting, like not actual fighting, but like a training of some sort, a martial art, kickboxing, whatever you like, whatever you're drawn to. I think it could serve you really well. You used to fight. Again, this is a day where I'm tapping into lifetimes of my seekers. It's interesting. Sometimes when it comes to me, guys. So if I'm not picking up on a past lifetime for you, don't be upset or think that I'm giving you any less or anything. It's just I say what comes to me. Sometimes it's a short message, sometimes it's a long message. Okay. That warrior in you wants to come back, and I feel like needs to come back. I don't know why, but it will do you really well to learn how to fight. And even if it's just for exercise and for the style and for the art and for the energy work and the spirit and the culture, like there's so much to it. And even dancing is coming through as well. Something with the body of transmuting energy through physical movement. So martial art of some sort I'm picking up, like fighting, but also dancing. And I don't know if I'm kind of guided to tell you to do both. Have like 1 class a week of fighting, 1 class a week of dancing, or even 2 classes a week of each, whatever you can afford, whatever works with your schedule. Hey, Chaos Cat, welcome. Thank you, Andrew. I'll be right with you. Thank you so much for the 10 Australian dollars. Woot woot. Okay, Amira? So it's a very specific message that is coming through. You need to learn how to fight again. If you've never learned how to fight in this lifetime, then it's from a past lifetime coming through. Either way, you need to learn how to fight again. Good luck. Okay, let's scroll up to Charity. November 22, 1986. That's 6. So 11, 22, and 6. That's 33, sums to 39. Okay. Charity, for the thing is about you is people don't know how intense you are at first. Right? They see a lighthearted, cheerful, childlike, fun, naive personality. They have no idea that you're like ripping through their layers, like lasering and analyzing the crap out of them. It serves you well. I'm not telling you to change it. It serves you well because it allows people to sometimes think less of you a little bit. Charity, it's true. Cool. Sometimes think less of you a little bit because they're like, oh, she's so cute. She's so this, she's so that. But they don't know. Now, if they have good intentions, all good. If they have not so good intentions, you can see right through it and know how to prepare for it while they think you're clueless. Amira, it's 2 classes I actually wanted to take, and I keep passing this karate place thinking about it and not stopping in. Oh my God. That if that's not an absolute sign for you, then I don't know what is. I'm a black belt in karate. Go for it. Okay. Sorry, I got excited for once again being correct. So Charity, just keep utilizing it. I feel like you're already utilizing it. You already know, you're saying, you're confirming it here. The downside of it is that if you misuse your ability, you can create some pretty nasty karma for yourself. Right? So when you see into a person, do not ever use it to play them. Unless they're messing with you and hurting you, and then you need in self-defense to play them, go for it. But otherwise, to get what you want from them, to get them to do what you want them to do, because you used to do it a lot unknowingly, or like from a place of like being naive, and you accumulated karma because of that. Charity, you don't want to keep doing that. All right. Okay, I hope this helped. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't skip anyone. No. Hi, Andrew. Taurus, May 5th, 1963. Okay. So that's 1. 551 11. Andrew. Andrew 551. Andrew, are you battling with depression? Are you dealing with like deep sadness? What type of karma, Charity? If you play someone, then you have the karma of being played with. It's very simple. Just keep in mind, with power comes responsibility. Okay. Andrew, yes, you are dealing with depression. Okay. Don't overly worry about it, Charity. I think you've gone through a lot of your karma. Just don't. I'm just saying it so that you don't create more of it, or new of it. Because sometimes people pick up on how you can play them. They're like, "Wow, I didn't see it coming. She seemed so naive and innocent, and then she just gave me that out of the blue." And it's like, it's kind of, you have to practice extra kindness. I know it can be hard. Okay, sorry, Andrew. I'm back with you. I want to focus on Andrew's energy now. So it can be very painful to see, because there are things that people did to you that there are very good reasons for you to have never been aware of. Like you would just not know, or it would skip you, and then you wouldn't be so hurt. Like if you hadn't been so acutely aware, or if the information didn't come to you, or if you didn't intuitively pick up on it, ignorance is bliss kind of thing. If I didn't know, like it's those type of things that people do because they think there's no way you'll ever find out. But you find out, or you pick up on it, or you sense it, and you ask for truth all the time. It's constant. All you do, whether you know it or not, maybe you ask for truth in your consciousness. If not, then your subconscious is constantly asking for truth from the divine. So you're getting all kinds of stuff that, right, there's no reason for Andrew to know. There's no reason for Andrew to find out, but you found out. You find out all the time, and then you get heartbroken. You need to be extremely selective with friends and with family. Very selective, very discerning. You always do seem to find out. There you go. Yeah. And so you have to have a very tight, small group of friends and or family members, that specific members that you trust. It doesn't have to be all of them. It can't be all of them. The levels of fuckery of people, it's unbelievable. And they do shit because they think there's no way you would know. And normally they'd be correct, but not with you. And then how did he find out? How did he know? Why is he so upset with me? And they don't even know that you know. It's like, well, and you pick up on the subtleties. So you have to be very cautious and careful, be selective, only have really unique, kind, aware people around you. Be very upfront about your healthy boundaries, what hurts you, what you're okay with. Okay? And create a safe environment for yourself, because you can't keep trying with people who keep hurting you. It's not fair to you, and you deserve to feel better in the world. Right? You do. So be happy with quality over quantity. Stop trying to appease shitheads. I know it's easier said than done, but please do so. Okay? And I hope this helped. And be a lot in nature. You're a Taurus. Oh my God, nature speaks to you so well. Walk barefoot at every single opportunity when there's not anywhere too wild. Okay, don't mess with all with venomous insects or bugs. But wherever you can go barefoot, be barefoot and spend a lot of time in nature. Okay. Hot man, thank you for the $2. Neither my money jiggle, nor does it fold. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyone else? This was fun. I feel like I should do it more often. You guys seem to like the numbers a lot, and I already do so much tarot already on my channel. It will always be an option if you want to ask a question to the tarot. But I guess this is fun too. It's good for me also to exercise my my Babylonian numerology / channeling / whatever this is I have going on with numbers. I've had this since I was a kid. Charity body emotions code will help with depression. Cool. Okay. Anyone else, you lovely humans, creatures? This is the opportunity. Every time I go live, people think, oh, she does it a lot. I'll catch her next time. You don't know. You don't know. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm sorry. Hello. I got $45 for a question to the tarot, right? Let me see who's this. Thank you for sending this in. Kat. Kat has been such an incredible support of my channel in the past few years. Thank you so much. And so is Marina, if you're still here. Like so many of you that have been with me for years. And I'm like so grateful for you. Seriously. Okay. So Kat writes, in 2 days is the 1 year mark. And I'm just really feeling it right now. I don't even know what to ask. Does the universe have anything to say? So Kat is referring to the loss of her husband, right? Who was also one of my seekers, and he died tragically. And you're saying that in 2 days is the 1 year mark. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see. Let's ask for a message for you. Okay. So no, I didn't focus. Kat. Message for Kat for the 1 year mark of her loss. What can we tell Kat? What can I tell Kat? Message for Kat for the 1 year loss. Sword. Andrew, thank you so much. Been following your journey for a while now. Cool. So much love and energy from you. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, back to Kat. Message for Kat for the 1 year mark. Okay, one more. I'm pulling 3 cards. So one more card. Message for Kat for the 1 year mark. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards. It makes absolute sense. It's just a reflection. I'll start talking, okay? So we have the Moon, the Tower, and Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm going to say something uncomfortable and annoying. Listen, you have every right and every natural legitimacy to still be in pain and in confusion and in grief. That's just to get that out of the way, to make it very clear. However, I'm picking up on something that is going on with your home. I don't know if it's your property, your apartment, something that you have to be on top of and not miss out on, or not see or not notice because of the emotional state that you're in. And I know it's hard, so I'm not saying it with judgment or with anything, but it is urgent. So I don't know if you need to pay rent. I don't know if it's a mortgage thing. I don't know if someone is doing something behind your back when it comes to your property or your home. I don't know if someone is messing with your finances. Maybe you have a debt you're not aware of. Maybe one of your kids paid on for something online and you don't know. And it's like, I don't want to scare you. I'm just giving an example. Like, it's something that you can fix. It's something that if you're conscientious to, it's something that if you know about and you just operate to sort it out, it could be fixed, but you can't put it on hold. You can't put it on hold. It could be plumbing. I don't know if you have any plumbing issues. I know it's such a weird message to give when you're asking about grief, but you might not be seeing something that you need to see. It could be some plumbing situation in your home, or in the home of maybe a family member. I don't know if you have a daughter or a sister or a mother, possibly. So it's either you or someone very close to you, likely feminine, that there's something going on with the stability of a property or of a household. Can you write something in the chat so I know what it's about, so I could direct it better? Because this really needs to be resolved. You need to talk about this with a professional, seek counseling, seek advice. If there's nothing wrong with your household, if everything is fine, no matter how much you think about it, there's nothing wrong, everything's great, then this is your psyche. This is your stable character. I recommend to seek therapy. Okay, I recommend to seek therapy. and talk to someone about how you feel on a regular basis. Now, it could be a good friend, but you need to have a regular weekly outlet to your pain. It doesn't need to be consequential. It doesn't need to have like a resolve. It doesn't need to fix everything. It just a cathartic experience of talking about it. You can't keep it to yourself. You can't try to keep it together for everyone. You got to break down. You got to break down to build back up. And I've given you this message in different variations in the past, where it's really important for you to address how you feel, but right now specifically, take a break in case there's something going on in your household. Home, can't think of anything other than half my plants have died this week. Outlet, I started a journal. Okay, you know what? This could be your plants. I'm not kidding. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not hopeful about your plants and suffering, but when you water your plants, you water yourself. Don't sleep on your plants. And it's also very symbolic. You don't want to maintain death in your home. You got to keep having, literally, especially because of your grief. I'm sorry. So you want to have consistent flow of life force, of chi. So either alive, healthy plants. If a plant can be saved, go for it. Just be like, I'm going to save you. And if it dies, don't project that and don't freak out. Okay? It's fine. And if a plant is completely gone and completely dead, just give it back to the soil. Put it outside next to a tree or next to a bush and let it go back to the soil. I don't like it when people throw plants or flowers or dead flowers to the trash. It's like, just put it in the garden on the grass or on the soil. It will find its way back to nature, Anyway, 108 degrees. Wow. I don't know. Listen. Okay, you know what? Let this be a potential warning just in case. If something pops up, like the toilet doesn't flush properly, or there's a blockage in your sink, or the pipes make weird noises, don't ignore it. Call a professional, call the landlord, call a handyman or handywoman, whatever, and immediately address it. Okay? That is in case that's the issue. Otherwise, if you can't think of anything else, then take what I said about the psyche and about talking to someone on a regular basis. All right. I hope this was helpful and thank you. And your mother wants to talk. Is your mother alive? Either way, she wants to talk. Hotman, thank you for the $2. Am I going to be rich soon? If you invest right, maybe. Okay. Yes, her husband died too. There you go. You need to connect. Wow. Okay. So you two need to connect on that one and talk to each other and be there for one another and spend a lot of time together as much as you can. Okay? That would be very helpful. And if she has, and nitpick with her if she has any financial issues, if she needs any help. You don't exactly speak the same language, find the common language. Find a common language. You have a common language. You both experienced losing your husband. There's your common language. Connect on that. Hey, it's in the cards. It's right here. Okay. I hope this helped. And thank you once again for your support. Let's see if I missed anything. I'm just checking to see that I didn't miss out on anyone. Okay. I don't think so. Does anyone has any other questions? Tell me now. In the meantime, I will let anyone watching, either live or later on in the recording, hi, check out Patreon. Over there, I upload monthly regular content, VIP content, on top of the content that I upload here. The extendeds are there. And there's also VIP content over there that is the karmic shift and liberation. There is every new moon and full moon, I do a reading for the next 2 weeks where I pull 14 runes, one for each day, messages for my patrons, specifically guided to my patrons, with also animal spirit oracle and tarot. Okay, so that happens twice a month, every new and full moon. And then there's the extendeds and then the karmic shift and liberation. If you don't know what karmic shift and liberation is, I did a special project for all the zodiac signs, 12 on Vimeo and on Patreon, and one, the 13th, for Fucus for free here on YouTube. It's called The Immigrant's Empire, Karmic Shift and Liberation, The Immigrant's Empire. But you have one for each of the other 12 zodiac signs available for separate purchasing on Vimeo or for unlimited streaming on Patreon, where we take a look into your karma, past lifetimes karma, generational karma, and this lifetime self-made karma, how they all affect your spirituality, your love life, and your career and finances. And that's a huge tarot spread. And then after that, I finish up with oracles, okay? So every reading for every sign is like an hour long. So I do recommend them. They are so helpful. They're there to get you through this decade and through your karma into Dharma. And I put so much heart into it. And I've received amazing response from seekers. So check them out. Again, either it's linked below, either on Vimeo or unlimited on Patreon. Tarot Masterclass Bunkai. If you want to study tarot from me, I created 90 pre-recorded classes. They are all available on Vimeo. Link is below. You can either rent the classes separately. Let's say you just want to know the meaning of the Queen of Pentacles, the Tower, the Moon, or any cards that came out in your spread, and you want to hear me talk about them in depth. You can rent them separately, or you can have the entire course and take them chronologically from 0 to 89, a total of 90, where it's really goes in depth. And it's for beginners through intermediate all the way up to mastery. So it doesn't matter where you are on your journey of tarot. It will take you through from the foundations, from the very basic foundations, all the way up there. Okay, so check that out as well. If you want to support me and my channel and join as a channel member, I have a lot of channel members here, and their comments always stand out with a star next to them. It's a monthly membership here on YouTube, $1.99. So it's super easy and it adds up, and it's very helpful for me to continue doing the free work that I do here on YouTube. It's very appreciated. Thank you to all my channel members. Thank you to all my patrons. You rock. And all my viewers, all my seekers here. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, join the Existential Shift, be a seeker, seer, existential shifter. You already are. I know. Okay. Let's see. Sue, how do you give constantly even when aggravated? I don't give constantly. When I get aggravated, I take a rest and I tell the person to F off. But if you're asking, and that's how I sustain my energy level, and that's how I'm able to give properly without being depleted. I honor myself just as much as I honor others, and I do that also to set an example for my viewers, so you would honor yourself. Okay, and how do I keep giving here? It's stronger than me. I can't stop. Like, it would be way more beneficial for me financially and for my sense of security and safety in the world to get a job that pays, because this is really unstable, to be honest. So it takes a toll on me, but with that, and I wish it could improve, and that depends on you guys, honestly, and your support of my channel and my content. But regardless, it's just something that I can't stop doing. If I don't do it here on YouTube, I will chew the brains out. I will chew out the brains of people in my life. So you give me a great space for me to express myself, and I thank you for that. What about your Jesus dream, Marina? So, from the perspective of Judaism, Jesus represents one of two things, and that depends on the perspective and the approach. He either represents progression of Judaism and expansion into another branch of it that is now called Christianity, or he represents traitor, the one that broke out of Judaism. And that is a matter of dogmatic approach and perspective. I personally really love his archetype and what he represents and the unconditional love and healing everyone. I don't like how he got mutated by structured Christianity and structured religion to fit a certain narrative. How Mary Magdalene was really suppressed and made into his sidekick. Interesting. That was an interesting slip. His sidekick at best, or a whore at worst, which none of them is accurate. She was his equal, if not also a teacher. She was also a teacher. So I don't like how he's been made out to be, but I do love his pure source-like origin, what he represents truly. I don't like the element of sacrifice. I don't think he would have liked it. I personally don't think Jesus would like everyone walking around with a cross, which is his torture machine, how he died miserably. Like, God forbid, how would you appreciate it if you had died miserably with the torture, and everyone, in honor of you, quote unquote, would wear the thing on which you got tormented in name of your sacrifice? You didn't want to sacrifice, you were sacrificed. Does that make sense? I think that it's just so distorted. But so that's just my view on Jesus. So you can apply it anywhere, any way it works for you. Dreams are very subjective, okay, but sometimes information helps in translating them. And specifically with you, I don't think you have the anger as a Jewish person angry at Jesus. I don't think that's what you're carrying. I think it's more likely that you're considering your place in the world when it comes to your faith and how you want to, what kind of structure you want to have for it. And especially if he's hugging you, there's a level of self-acceptance and self-love that you've reached to. And this dream symbolizes, right? Because the symbol of unconditional love and healing is being integrated into you and smiles at you, right? So you accept that parts within yourself in a way. Be your own Jesus, be your own savior. You already are your own savior. Okay, so that's what I'm taking from your dream. But again, it's very open for you to. Some would say, hey, you got the call, but that depends on how you truly view spirituality and God and religion. You're welcome. Sue, it's impressive and balanced. Thank you. I just got aggravated, and to center or circle back would take months. That's okay. Take the time that you need. Okay. All right, guys, I am tired. My view on aliens is that they exist. They are likely smarter than us, and they're definitely existing in the universe, whether we are aware of it or not. But we are aware of it. Governments are aware of it anyway. Too big of a topic to go into right now. I'm tired. But I really love you guys. And in an hour or later tonight, Gemini is up. Okay? Okay. Stay magic. Stay true. I love you.